There's one thing that you can do once a week for 6 weeks and see big gains.
This is going to improve your muscle strength, your run economy, your run form, your cardiovascular health, and protect your legs from muscle soreness later on.
Any guesses? It's hill training.
Today we are talking about secrets to hill training. We love hill work.
We love it for a whole bunch of reasons. As a coach, I really do love programming it. I know you all get a little scared when we put it in there, but once a week can make a big difference and you can start feeling the effects really, really fast.
Yeah, you can start to see those benefits in as little as 6 weeks. So bang for your buck is huge with hill work. A couple of things that hill training helps with. First off is improved leg muscle strength.
I always say it's more balanced too, because you're using the front and the back of your body. You know, people are sometimes surprised to learn that rolling hill courses like CIM are faster, but that's because we're using both sides. Your body likes to use both sides of your body, not just the front side, which is what we use when we're flat.
Yeah.
Second up, it quickens your stride. We're going to talk today a lot about cadence, which is how many times per minute your foot hits the ground. Incline training specifically will improve and optimize your cadence.
Next up is that it expands your stride length. All of this is making gentle corrections to your form without you having to think about it.
You saw this one coming. It develops your cardiovascular strength. Obviously, as we climb, we are going to have a slightly higher heart rate, and that is going to boost all of those cardiovascular adaptations.
Running up hills also enhances your running economy.
That we're going to keep talking about that one too. Last and not least, by any means, it's going to even protect your leg muscles against soreness. You had a story about this with your athletes that did sustained declines.
Yeah, so we did quad bombing workouts, and that's basically just hill training, excessive hill training for people who hadn't done hill training. And our athletes who did hill training prior to our race in Switzerland were the only ones who were not sore. Like the people who intentionally sought out hills and practiced, and not consistently throughout the training cycle either, just 1 or 2 sessions of really trying to make yourself sore on a hill workout, saved them from being sore in a workout, in a race that lasted about 8 hours. Hi, bud.
For those of you who have been hearing a lot of snoring or weird noises on Coach Quip, it's because we are now recording in our house, and this assistant coach on cue is really loud. So we apologize for the snores, and we're going to kick them out right now for the rest of this episode.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So we are going to break down tips for climbing and tips for descending. First up, tips for going up, aka climbing. So running hills well is specifically uphill is all about rhythm. If you let the hills grind you down and you're charging it, I always say we want to chop, not charge when we're climbing. It is going to slow you down dramatically and you're going to feel like a cartoon going backwards, right? But if you make the proper adjustments and maintain your cadence or even increase your cadence, you will in fact make molehills out of those mountains.
I like that chop, don't charge. I say chug, don't charge. I had somebody who used to say chug, chug, chug.
Oh, I like that because it's
right?
fast paced, yeah. Or it's fast
keeping the cadence up, and as opposed to really putting in that hard effort to charge up.
So as you start to climb, first up is to shorten your stride. You're not going to have to think about this too much because it's naturally, when we're going up and over, that stride is naturally going to shorten because your foot has to meet the ground where it's at. But don't try to maintain the cadence and the pace as you start to climb. Just think about shortening it up.
Yeah, also we want to make sure that we're thinking about equal effort, not necessarily pace, not necessarily cadence, not your speed, but your effort on the way up and on the way down. And obviously you might have to slow your pace to maintain that same effort going up, but you are going to make up for it on the way down.
Yeah, don't be stressing going up because you're slower. We already know that, and it should be the case, right? Mm-hmm. You will more than make up for it on the flip side. Next is to take baby steps. This is a nice way to say chop it up, right? Or chug. It's going to be necessary so that you can increase that turnover and really optimize that rhythm, even more so than what you had on the flat ground.
Next up is your posture. So your posture should be upright, maybe with a slight forward lean. And we love hill training because it automatically corrects a lot of the form cues that most runners could use some tweaking with, like cadence and your posture. So your head, shoulders, and hips should be stacked over your feet. Slight forward lean on the way up. Obviously don't want an excessive forward lean. You will fall into the hill. Definitely don't want a backwards lean. This is a great way to correct that, because if you are leaning backwards, you will not be going up the hill.
No, that will be very much in the opposite direction you want to be moving.
Yes.
Next up is breathing, all right? So if you're breathing, and this is, again, kind of common sense, but if your breathing gets out of control, you are going too fast, or maybe you're overstriding and trying to charge. So just back the heck off and try to get your breathing back under control with a shorter stride.
At the top, we talked about running economy, and this is a good tip for running economy. So when you are running up a hill, we want to be thinking about a little ankle flick, or like that pushing off your big toe motion, as opposed to big charges, all right? So like we talk about knee drive, but your knee drive should not be excessive like a bound or a skip. We want to just flick that ankle back and then let the knee come up. Yep.
This next one is probably my favorite one, which is to run through the top of the hill. So for me, I'll usually say something like, okay, find something visual like a mailbox. We're going to run to and through the mailbox, and we're going to use that acceleration, because when that hill starts to kind of peter off and you're either going to be going flat or down, we want to keep that momentum going, because it is going to flip into instant power.
Yes, and training this in your practice sessions is great for racing. So our racers who actually do run up and over, or even cycle up and over the hill, not just stopping at the top, are the ones that do the best, because you get that momentum going into the downhills.
Which is free speed.
Free speed, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So moving over into tips for coming down, AKA descending these hills.
Do you think that climbing or descending takes more like of a skill, of practice?
Ooh, two different things. So I think energy management going up a hill is really important, but technical skills of controlling your footwork and your body position on the downhill is also a different skill. So I think they're both equal and both need to be trained too.
I think the uphill trains more naturally. People get better at it very quickly. I think the downhill, especially when you're looking at things that are very steep or trail, I think that skill takes longer.
I agree, but it's also the one that can get you the most bang for your buck.
Oh my gosh, so many gains.
Yeah,
so many gains.
So you can have the strength and the endurance to climb hills, but if you are not confident in your skills descending, you don't really get to activate the benefits of the hills. Do you like hill work?
I do.
I love hills. I love them cycling. I love them running.
I like them running more than cycling, but that's because my bike handling skills aren't yours.
Yeah,
right?
I will climb hills all day on my bike just so that I can ride down.
Oh yeah, no, not me. I'm a brake rider. Riding, I'm a brake rider. Running, I'm a maniac. But 100%.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how not to be a maniac, but to do have confidence and skills going downhill. So it's all about finding your flow when you are descending. We want to make sure that we're landing lightly and that we are totally in control. So to help with your downhill technique, we have a couple more tips for you here.
First up is to visualize gravity pulling you down the hill. I always say, like, don't fight it, right? We're going to use it to our momentum. It doesn't mean you need to be looking down, and finding something. It just means visualize it. Know that you have gravity on your side.
I love that. And not necessarily gravity, because you don't want to be visualizing gravity on the way up.
Yep.
But I do
don't do that.
But I do love the visualization. So one of the tips for going up is I'll visualize hooking myself to the runner in front and just letting them pull me up, right? Like taking some of that effort off of me. But visualizing your way down is also great. And even if it's like a single track or it's a trail, you can practice these mental skills of visualizing your footwork and your paths as you're doing it. But practice will make perfect there.
Brian said something to me so long ago. I think we were training for our first marathon. We were on the lakefront. This was when we still trained together, which we don't do a ton of now, but we were very tolerant, for our first, for sure. And it was dead of winter. I'm sure I was very, very bundled. And we went south into the wind. And as we were coming north, which is very similar, when the wind's at our back, it is very similar to descending. And he said, of course, it felt a lot easier and it was wonderful. And he said, it's like there's a giant hand on your back just pushing you forward. And I think about that with descending as well. So similar is the hook and pull of the forward or going up. Descending, a lot of times I'll think about a hand gently pushing on my back and just making things so easy. It's like, whose hand is it? I don't know. You pick. But it was very, very, very cool. And it really stuck with me. And I think about it all the time, whether I'm descending or I've got that wind pushing me.
I I love that. These are like the little things that people say to you that stick in the back of your mind forever that can really make a difference.
I should tell him.
You
Because
should.
I even remember where we were when he said it. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. He deserves a little affirmation.
I'll call Skip after this.
Next up is to try to maintain upright body posture. So again, with the posture, we can't over lean on going down or you will be the maniac running down that hill. And that is a great way to lose control. If you are too far back, you're just putting on the brakes every step. And that is going to not only reduce your speed descending, it's going to tear up your legs.
Yeah, and your back. I mean, you're literally trying to sit down and do almost like baby squats every time in the back seat. It's not a good spot to be. Next up is going back to the feet, keeping your feet close to the ground for maximum control and landing lightly, right? This does not mean shuffle. It does not mean shorten your stride. It means we don't need, like Coach Chris was saying on the up, we don't need you bounding up and down. You are going to have a much lower cadence when you're descending because your foot, again, is landing in front of you and down. So by nature, it's a bigger pendulum. But we want your feet to stay close to the ground because you might need it, right? Especially if footing's a little funky or slippery.
Yeah, so talking about cadence, you said that your cadence might reduce a little bit. As you pick up speed going downhill, that cadence is going to naturally have to get faster for you to maintain stability and control. And in addition to that, you are also going to find that your stride length will lengthen as you're going downhill, just kind of naturally. So that's why we said that one of the benefits of hill training is that stride expansion. So you want to make sure that as we're increasing our pace, think about that cadence and turnover and keep it nice and light, but let it be as fast as it needs to be to stay in control.
On that note, one more thing about control. If you are descending and it's really steep or it's funky footing and you find yourself getting out of control, just shorten that stride back up, right? And get control until you feel secure and then you can get flowing again. Don't overthink this though. You naturally do this. Think about it. If you're going downhill or even like going down steps or a ramp and you start to lose your footing, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And you naturally collect and take that stutter step. It's exactly the same. So it's incredibly intuitive.
Yeah, and then a final bonus tip here. You said that whoa, whoa, whoa. You can use your arms as you descend. Now, like this is not for going down every hill. You don't want to be flying.
No,
with
you're
your
not
arms
Phoebe
over.
on Friends. Yeah.
But if you are on a trail run or you're in a sort of dicey, like you're starting to pick up too much speed, using your arms for stability and balance can really be helpful. So you'll see people in trail running sometimes like run with their wings out a little bit to maintain stability if they're going through some rocky parts pretty quickly. We definitely did that at the Nature Fix run as we were running through snow with unstable footing. There was a lot of like just, floating arms just to make sure that you were staying upright, which can really help.
Okay, we've gone up and optimized. We've gone down and optimized. The only thing left to do is to actually do it.
So get out there, find a hill, and add this in once a week or every other week. You will see results pretty quickly.
Happy running.